Good morning and welcome to MicroMoment Monday. First, a quick announcement. Those of you who are subscribed to our channel and who have also clicked the notifications bell know that we are now active on our community tab on our homepage of our YouTube channel. And we posted a poll a couple of days ago about some information on some canning classes that we are thinking about offering and ask for some feedback. So I'm not going to go into what the results are yet. We're going to do that on Friday. I'm going to do a vlog on Friday talking more about the class, but I'm inviting you, all of you, to please go to our community tab on our YouTube channel homepage and participate in that poll so we can sort of get an idea. We are already receiving wonderful ideas and requests about what people would like to see in a course like that. Now for today's micro moment. Last week we published a video on the amazing properties of bean juice, which is called aquafaba, and how bean juice, and really pretty much the juice from most beans, but particularly from chickpeas, which it turns out responds the very best, can be used as an egg replacement. I'll put the link to that video below this description so that you can also watch that video if you have not yet seen it. Today we are going to do one of the foods that I showed in that video, and that is eggless mayonnaise. This was the mayonnaise that I made to show in that video, and I've had some people ask, how is that mayonnaise holding up? It has not separated, there's no juice at the bottom, it is still very much intact and working just fine. The taste is great, and frankly, I am going to be using this from now on as our mayonnaise of choice. It serves two purposes, being able to make eggless mayo. One is there are a lot of people who can't eat eggs, so this is a wonderful help to them. And the second thing is it completely avoids using fresh eggs in homemade mayo, because we do know that there is a slight risk of salmonella when we use uncooked eggs in things. And many of us really do not like to use uncooked eggs in any recipe that we do. And so this mayo is a great way to get around that and still have the wonderful flavor. So let's get to it. I have right here, this is a can of chickpeas. And if you are new to aquafaba, the best place to start is by buying a can of chickpeas, draining off the juice, and using that. Now, this mayo was made with commercially canned bean juice. This bean juice, or aquafaba, is some that I made myself by cooking a batch of chickpeas and then draining the water and cooking it down, boiling it down to about half of the volume that I started with. It is just about the same consistency. It has some floaties in it, some starches, and I wanted to just keep those in there. Today, however, I want to strain them out. Whatever won't go through that strainer because I am making mayo and I want it to be very smooth. So let's measure out 1/4 of a cup of our aquafaba. There was not very much that the strainer caught at all, so we're pretty good. People have asked, can we freeze this and will it still work? And my answer is, I don't know, but I think that's a great experiment and I'll be doing that after a while. Now what I'm using here is a wide mouth pint jar. I need something that is narrow and deep, something that my immersion blender will fit all the way down in. But I want it as narrow as possible so the liquid comes up as high as possible. So I'm putting in 1/4 of a cup of the aquafaba. Here is 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of vinegar. This is for the tang that I like in the vinegar. You could, if you don't like so much tang, you could go down to about 1.5 teaspoons if you like. And then to give it some color, I'm going to put in just a touch of mustard, say about 1/4 of a teaspoon. You see how white this looks, and real mayo looks a little bit more yellow? from the egg yolk, of course. Okay, so that is all of our ingredients that we're going to start with. I've learned from experience and because of some suggestions from some of our viewers that I need to put this jar or anything that I am using my immersion blender with on something that will stop it from rotating. So this has a rubberized back. I wet the front, and so I don't think this jar will go anywhere. We're going to find out right now. So we're going to mix these ingredients together. Okay, that's all that is. I have right here 3/4 cup of canola oil. So I'm now going to stream this in very slowly. Last time I made the other batch of mayo, it took quite a while, like maybe even 10 minutes, for it to thicken and look like mayo. Aquafaba is a little bit slower to come to the same consistency on foods than eggs do. So that's one thing I'm having to get used to. So here we go. I'm just going to stream a little bit in at a time, and you'll notice that I'm going to move the blender up and down because it's important to get all parts of this. Created a vacuum. Tilting it off to the side just a little bit prevents creating that vacuum. I'm going to continue beating this until it thickens to the point where that's the texture that I like. This one went much faster than the juice out of the canned beans. I think we've got it, and this was much faster than the aquafaba I used from the canned beans. Now, once this gets into the refrigerator, it's going to thicken up even more, but look at that. It is just absolutely wonderful. Let's taste it. Pretty good. All right, I am going to retrieve all I can from this beater, from this immersion blender, and then I'll be back in a moment. We're ready now to move it into an 8-ounce jar. This makes about 1 cup exactly. I just tasted it again. Ooh, it is so good. And of course you can vary the taste a little bit by the amount of vinegar. You could even use lemon juice, and also the amount of mustard. This one, we'll compare colors in just a minute, but it appears to me that it is a little bit more yellow. And after this is chilled, it will be the same consistency as regular mayo. So here's the comparison. It's slightly more yellow, but I'm very excited about this. I think it is such a wonderful substitute for eggs, especially raw eggs in foods, and this will keep it safer. Coming up next with our aquafaba in the next few videos will be a gluten-free, egg-free bread, and also gluten-free, egg-free pasta. So look for those coming up soon as well. Thanks for being with us for this micro moment, and we will see you again next time.